Interested in starting your own podcast? Well, let me give you a tip. All you have to do is download the Anchor app. And as soon as you download it, they'll give you tips and tricks as to how to start your podcast. It's as simple as going to your Apple Store or your Google Play Store and just downloading the app. Or on your computer, you can go to the Anchor website and just start your podcast. Stop waiting. Go ahead and start your podcast now. Go. What are you doing? Go get the Anchor app. Start that podcast. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of A Unique Way with Words. I'm your host, Imani. So last podcast episode, I told you I was going to make a part 2 to the living single thing, but instead, today is Christmas morning, and I just woke up with a desire to want to actually talk about the holidays and how holidays are for different people. And how holidays can sometimes be kind of hard for some people. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So I don't know if you all noticed, but the sound quality of this here podcast episode is a 1 like steak sauce, because for Christmas I got a microphone. My mom bought me a microphone. I was really gonna buy one a while ago, but I had showed my mom a microphone that I was gonna buy. She was like, "Oh no, I'll just get it for you for Christmas." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you. I truly appreciate it." But I really was gonna get my own. But if somebody says that they want to do something for you, you have to allow them to. You can't stop them from doing something that they want to do for you. So I allowed her to get me the microphone, and I really appreciate it. So let's talk about holidays. As I said, holidays for everybody is not the same. For some people, holidays can be a little bit depressing. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading a text message. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so for some people, holidays can be kind of like depressing. And it's solely because not everybody has family. Not everybody has friends that they can spend holidays with. Not everybody comes from a background where holidays are a big thing. For my family, holidays, it's like everybody's getting back into the flow of wanting to celebrate holidays, getting back into the flow of actually wanting to come together and make holidays a big thing. Because for the longest, for us, holidays have become kind of depressing. I think I spoke on this before. We lost my grandmother literally, I think, a week before Thanksgiving or a few days before Thanksgiving. And she was kind of like the glue to all of our holidays. And a few years before her passing, she lost her father, which is my grandfather. My great-grandfather, excuse me. But I called him my father. My grandfather, I said my father. He was like a father figure to me. But I called him my grandpa. That was my grandpa. I loved my grandpa. And we lost him on Christmas Day. So for us, it's kind of depressing, but we try to make it better, and we try to make holidays more family oriented. But I've noticed over the years, it's gotten hard again. And it's really crazy. It's really crazy. I remember growing up with my grandfather, my great-grandfather. It's so hard calling him my great-grandfather. But growing up, losing my great-grandfather on Christmas Day, I remember how everybody just kind of forgot about Christmas. Christmas was just, it wasn't Christmas anymore. And it's crazy to me that in the past, he would come to us for Christmas, or we would go to him. He lived in Minnesota. And that Christmas, I think we had all went to California that Christmas. And my grandfather didn't come to visit us in California or Vegas, or we didn't go to visit him. And now that I'm older, I kind of think about it why didn't we fly him out to California? Why didn't we go to Minnesota and spend that Christmas with him. Those are just some thoughts that I have as an adult. Because family is important. It's really important. Family has a way of creating who you are as an adult. Your family is your first friends. Your family, like your cousins, are your first friends. That's the first way you learn how to interact with other people. Your cousins are literally your first best friends. And the way your family is, it impacts how you are as an adult. And it took me with this spiritual journey and me growing up and me becoming who I am now to realize that and to kind of accept it. And if that's not how I want to be, change it, Rewind to back to what I was talking about, losing my grandfather on Christmas. I felt the Christmases after that were not the same. I can honestly say the Christmases after that were not the same. My grandmother, I feel like I'm about to cry, y'all. But my grandmother, after that, like her spirit for Christmas, it wasn't the way it was before. Because my grandmother was really big on holidays. She got so excited about holidays, and I'm literally about to cry talking about her. I don't want to cry. But I remember when my mom had got locked up and I was living with my grandma. It was on a Christmas. I said it was on Christmas, but one Christmas, my grandmother, I think she knew that I was missing my mom and that I wanted my mom to be here for holidays. Because I feel like when I was little, like every holiday, when my mom was away and locked up, I didn't know she was locked up, but I just thought they used to tell me growing up, which is very toxic, that she went on vacation, and then it took my uncle being the dick that he was to tell me that my mom was in prison. And then I asked my grandma, I was like, is it true? And then she told me, yeah, it was. And yeah. Yeah, here we go with my traumatizing childhood. No, but I remember growing up around holidays, I would always like send my mom like letters and like draw her pictures. And like I remember, I think it was either Valentine's Day or something, I tried to put candy in the envelope because I really did not know. As a kid, I didn't know she was in prison. And you can't, I think it was Halloween candy or something like that. You can't put that stuff in the envelope. They can't get that stuff. So I put candy in the envelope. I think my grandma ended up opening it and then just sending the letter to her. But I really used to get excited talking to my mom on the phone during holidays because I didn't know where she was. I just thought she went on vacation without me. Or they used to tell me she was in Minnesota, which is where my grandpa was, but she wasn't in Minnesota. She was locked up. And it's crazy to me that they used to tell me that. I really used to be like, well, why'd she leave me? Why couldn't I go on vacation with her? That's really toxic. I really feel like you shouldn't tell your kids that they're on vacation, that the parent is on vacation. I think you should really like sit down and be like, hey, mommy or daddy made some bad decisions and they have to do some time away. That's a better way of explaining things than saying vacation, because then it's like, well, don't I get to go on vacation? Was I being bad? I can't go on vacation, But okay, I need to get back on track about holidays. Okay. I was talking about that Christmas when my mom was locked up. So my grandmother made that Christmas like really, really special for me. When I tell you, think of like the height of your door, the doorway. My gifts were stacked up to the height of the door. And my grandma told me that all of those gifts were from my mom. And that really had me just so happy and excited. But I know that the gifts were from my grandma. And it's crazy. Me and Leslie, like, growing up, our childhood, I don't even think Leslie, like, remembers this or can think about this, but we really were truly blessed. We didn't get, like, designer things and, like, stuff like that, but when it came to the thought of the gifts that we received, we really were blessed. My grandmother really gave with thought, gave with her heart. And I'm about to cry. But yeah, I feel like after it took a lot of things occurred when my grandma started to kind of like just not take Christmas as serious as she did when me and Leslie were younger. That Christmas that I really, really remember. We started getting more, she started getting more kids that she had to take care of. She started getting more stress from life. I mean, it wasn't stress because she was so blessed to the point she couldn't be stressed. But then her father dies, and then her I feel like her spirit of Christmas just wasn't the same. So back to talking about holidays. Yeah, so I just really feel like for everybody, holidays just isn't the same. And I think what we crave and what we desire, which I talked about last podcast episode about living single, we crave and we desire love, and we crave and we desire relationships and marriages and families. And I think a part of the reason why some of us want a family is so that we can experience the things that were taken away from us or experience the things that we never had. And I can honestly say, after my grandma passed, after my grandfather passed, after my mom got locked up again, I was blessed to have friends and to have people around me who were open arms and willing to allow me to come and spend Thanksgiving or spend Christmas with them. I remember that year that my mom had got locked up again when I was in high school. My best friend, Brianna, her mom, I really love Brianna and her mom. Her mom invited me to come and spend Christmas. And so I don't know if you guys heard that, but my brother had came in because it's Christmas. He came in and not in my room, but he came in the house and he was loud. So I kind of had to like stop the podcast episode. But what I was saying was Brianna and her family, they invited me for Christmas. I spent a couple Christmases with Brianna and them, but they were amazing. I love her family. Still to this day, I love them. I love all of them. They're like a second family to me. I haven't spent time with them in like maybe years because when we both went off to college, it was kind of like she went off and hasn't looked back since. And trust me, the door is open for me to go and spend time with her family. But I just feel like it's the same, but it's not the same, if that makes sense. Because she's not there. That was one of my closest friends. So she's not there. She's away in medical school. So whatever. But yeah, as I was saying, Christmas, holidays, it's just not the same for everybody. And we kind of just have to be mindful and be grateful for what we do have, and be grateful to have people in our lives who can give us the opportunity to experience Christmas and Thanksgiving the ways that maybe we were taken away from us, you know? I remember after going off to college, my close friends, Miracle, Monet, Tiana, Miracle invited a couple more of her close friends. We had a Friendsgiving. We have a Friendsmas where we just exchanged gifts, brought food. Was it a friend? I can't remember if it was a Friendsmas or a Friendsgiving. I think it was a Friendsmas because I didn't come home for Thanksgivings when I was away at school. So I think it was a Friendsmas where we all came together and exchanged gifts and stuff like that. I personally didn't bring any gifts because I financially just couldn't afford it at the time, which that's another thing with holidays. We feel like we have to buy everybody something. We have to spend so much money just to show that we care and that we support our family members. And then you kind of feel bad when I do. I feel bad when people get me something and then I'm unable to do the same for them. Like this year, don't get me wrong, I had the money to kind of like just ball out, but it's so much other things, more important things that I wanted to take care of. And that's rent, that's bills and stuff like that. And I know if I would have spent money on gifts, I kind of would have just been like, just not had money afterwards. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Holidays it's a lot. It's a lot, just a lot. But I want my family and those around me to know that I do care, I do love them, I do appreciate them. Because I know for family, it's hard as well. I know this year my mom kind of just didn't really want to do a big Christmas with family. She's cooking gumbo and making a prime rib. She didn't really want to do a big family get together. She just wanted to just cook and that's it. Which makes sense. It's like sometimes you just want to spend the holidays alone. I mean, yeah. I mean, she has her boyfriend. I know they exchange gifts, and he probably might come here later. But yeah, I don't want to be here when he does. But yeah, that's the holidays for you. But no, thank you guys so much for listening to A Unique Way with Words. Be sure to stay connected with me on all of my social medias. My social media platforms will be linked in all of my episodes on whatever streaming platform that you're listening to this on. And then also, if you don't want to just click the links, you can go find me on Instagram at A Unique Way with Words, or you can follow my personal Instagram at uniquelyimani_. I do have a Facebook page, A Unique Way with Words. And then I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for the support. Wishing life, love, and all of the above. Life and light. Yeah, all of that. Bye, you guys. Thanks for listening.